Hello, everyone. Okay, we're going live on Facebook because YouTube needs to activate my account. It's brand new, so it needs to activate. That's okay. We're going to roll with it. So welcome, everyone, to Birth You channel. My YouTube channel, I have the link on the page also, and I'll put it in the comments or beneath this video also. So when we start doing our Monday, I'm going to do something every Monday, usually around 8 p.m., so we can stay connected. But today, I want to talk about who are you really? So if you're on this channel, on this Facebook page, you may know a little bit about my story. Like I put a nice bio up, and that's a little too dark. But I'm going to tell you briefly about my journey to discovering who I am really. Okay. Welcome. I hope everyone can hear me. But I'm going to start back with my youth. In my youth, I was born into a family. My family was Seventh-day Adventist. My father was a pastor, so I was a PK, a preacher's kid. And we went to church on Saturdays, usually Friday nights, but we didn't watch TV from Sunset Friday to Sunset Saturday. We had a lot of rules, but I loved church. I loved the singing. I loved the fellowship, and that was pretty much my whole life focus and what I did for what I thought, was spirituality and connection to God until I was in maybe my late 20s. I still went to church, but when I got married at 25, the second time, my husband was Pentecostal, and I thought, oh, truly, they've got the Holy Ghost, because that's just what they do. There's some power in there. I mean, everybody is speaking in tongues, and the music is jumping, and I always sang in church, so I sang a lot of gospel music. I was raised on gospel music, the Clark sisters, and I would just walk around so much singing. That was just a part of my life. So when I got to, I guess in my 30s, and we moved to Georgia, and we were at this mega church there. And I still could never figure out how to speak in tongues. I couldn't figure out, I never really felt like I got the Holy Ghost. I would feel emotional in church, and I enjoyed it. But I was like, where is the Holy Ghost? I want to speak in tongues, and I want to roll around. I want to feel it like, these people are feeling it. Like, where's the power? I just must not have it. I must not have it yet. So I went to Baptist churches, directed choirs with my husband. We sang, and it felt good. The power of people being together, coming to worship God, just felt great to my soul. And one day I'm sitting in church. I'm in this big mega church. It's thousands of people. And I'm like, oh, this has got to be the spot where I'm going to receive that power, And I sat in a class. They had you do all these classes if you wanted to join. And I sat there, and I always like to ask questions. And in church, I don't know if anybody else is a churchgoer, there's a lot of speaking to you now. It used to be a time when you could give testimony and speak. It was more interactive. Well, here, it was like it's a program every week, and you're not just going to get up and say anything. And so I remember being in the membership classes, and we were talking about the Bible. I just asked a question because I've read and studied the Bible all my life, and they said you don't question God. And I was like, well, I'm not questioning God. I'm questioning you. You have the answers, I believe, because you're in a position of authority. I know you have the answers for the things that I'm thinking about. They really didn't have any answers. So I'm like, oh, God, okay, well, I'll just keep studying. One day I started to sit in church and I said, I'm just going to read. I've read the Bible all my life. I'm just going to read everything Jesus says, all the red lettering. And it was just like a realization of all the stuff Jesus is saying about, know ye not that ye are God's, and all power has been given to you, and greater works shall ye do. I'm like, he's talking about, I am just like him. Just like him. What does that mean? So me and my husband would talk about it, and my children, and no, you're not. So we say, well, we're not comfortable calling ourselves God. That's blasphemous, right? So who are we? Well, we're children of God. It says we're God's children. What does that make me? God's child. Can I be anything other than God? But I didn't get it. So I still wasn't really rolling with it. Okay. So as time went on, the last mega church, it was a big, big, big scandal there. I'm not going to name any names. But I was just like almost, when I found myself heartbroken at the fact that this person who I'd seen as the representative of God, like surely he has attained a level of power that he can lead and direct us all into, because he wouldn't have all these followers, right? He wouldn't be on TV. He wouldn't have all this money. He's got what it is I'm trying to get. But I'm not that, Can't be that. I'm not that. I am that, right? It's coming to me. So I start to study metaphysics, and I find a company named Juju Mama. I find Hakashimu Kenya K. Stevens. And I had started going to New Orleans, and my husband and I would walk around right before this, and we go into all the voodoo shops, and they have all the altars set up. And I remember just like asking the people in there, what is all this stuff? Like, there are cigarettes on these altars, and there's all these deities, and all these things that they like. I'm like, oh, they like all the things that people like alcohol and different herbs and scents that I had no idea was so far removed from what I had even considered or learned at all in my life in the church. So when I started to study with Hakashimu Kenya K. Stevens, I did feminine power initiation, and we were the first group of women, and it was in 2011. And so what I remember is she said, I couldn't wait to get to the class where she said, we're going to possess the deities. I thought, finally, this is the chance. This is it. Like all this power is going to come down into me that I've been waiting for. Like Sasha Fierce and Beyonce said, oh, something just came down into me, and then I could sing and do all these things that I can't do in rehearsal. I'm like, oh my gosh, here, I'm going to have it now. I have all the power. And I'm waiting, and she said, okay, you're doing it. Like, you are it. You are the deities. You are the power. I was like, I'll be good. It was the time when it finally set in that, oh my God, nothing's coming into me. It is coming out of me. Like, I am that I am. And so as time went on and I started learning manifestation, I started learning all these tools, and I thought that, okay, so, all right, I am the power, but I've got to use that power through objects, and it's got to be a formula that I use, and there's lots of stuff that you can do that is all just evidence of your power. It is not the power. You can, like Jesus says in the Bible, I can raise up 10 Moseses out of these stones. It's true. Like, I discovered that I could take anything. It was my presence, and it was my focus and my energy as a being, as the God being that I am here. Know ye not that ye are gods? That gives everything that I touch, everywhere that I go, everyone that meets me, who is me, that it gives life to that. And if it may be something that you struggle with to like really get, but I want you to start to kind of like just try to sense it, because really everything is dancing for you. What starts before you open your eyes? Prove to me that something is active, or a person exists outside of you, or that anything goes on without your awareness. And greater than that, it's not the person's awareness, because you are aware of your person. I'm sitting here looking at Angela on a screen, right? Who is looking at Angela? Who is it? It's the source. It's the higher self. There's all these names for it. And I feel now there's nothing to do. There's nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to become. There is nothing to attain. It's like the Kabbalah or the tree of life. You know, we're down here on the bottom sphere and in the dimensions of physical manifestations, but really it started up at the top. You've already done it. You've already won. There's a song I posted on my other page, It's Already Done, that my husband wrote, and I sing it, but it's true. It's already done. Oh, you've already overcome. You're not trying to win, you've won. You're not attaining, you've attained it. This who you are seeing every day is just like what we keep seeing in the movies, the avatars. It's the illusion. It is the consciousness of who you are in your higher self from God. You are God. Everything is in God. When I've been living in the UAE for the past 6 years. So I've met all types of people from various religions. I've met Sufis from Africa and the Muslims, and I've been to India. I've been to like 6 countries. I've been in these Buddhist temples, and everything that is there is speaking about you. That's the beauty of it. All the stuff written in the Bible, all the things written in the holy texts from India, all of the deities, they're just there for that's your personality. That's like a small smidget of who you really are, because ye are God. Everything that we consider, which can't even really be explained, that's why people keep writing about it and talking about it and creating personifications of it, just so that we can get a glimpse of who we are. And you can sense it, but really you can't describe it. I kind of shied away from talking because I feel there's so many people that are talking about it. There are so many people who are talking about magic and tools and God and source. Hi, Kenya. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. Hi, Monique. Hi, Cookie. Leslie. Oh, my God. My goddess sisters are on here. Kenya's my queen, mother goddess. Like, she really... Okay. That's Sakashimu. Go check her out, please. Change your life. But the only way that you change, I also started to discover when I was looking at manifestation, the only way you could change the outside is by changing yourself. Nobody else is changing. But then when I spoke to my teacher, Rakim, and my love, he says, I said, who is all this stuff for? Like all of the stuff we learn about deities he said, oh, that's only for the personality. So there are no spiritual people. You are a spirit, and you're a human being also. But all that stuff that we're doing, that's for your mind. That's for your personality. Your God self, who you really are, nothing needs to be done. Nothing needs to be changed. And everything that you do, I promise you, doing it with that awareness, even if it's just a little bit, it's not blasphemous. It's blasphemous to try to minimize who you are when so much has gone into bringing you here. So much has gone into bringing you here to experience. So your God self wants to experience itself, and you get here, and then you have the nerve to say, oh, I am something less than that, or I'm not good enough, or only if I could be this. Do you realize I was watching A Wrinkle in Time on the plane over here? I was flying from Saudi Arabia. And when Oprah says to that little girl, she says, I want to be somebody else. If only I could just be somebody else. And Oprah says, if you knew all of the events, all of the things, all of the minute things that have come into being just so you could be here exactly how you are, you would never say that. So all of the ancestors, all of the the people that came before us, all of the energy that just dances around us, all the flowers that speak to us every day and smell good for us, the trees that stand tall and shade us. Everything is here serving you, and you don't even know who you are. I promise you, if you just start to look there, just when you go to bed, the reason I'm doing this tonight is because at nighttime, before you go to sleep, you're not praying to anyone outside of you. Give thanks and gratefulness for yourself, because that's what's doing everything. It's yourself. Your person can just coast. Your person can't fix or do anything. Nothing. It's yourself. Thankful. And anything that you ask and can think of, anything you can ask or think of and desire, don't you think that how much more has your father and mother in heaven, yourself, the things that make you, how the beings that you are, who you are, how much more would that want to give to you? We can give to our children, and we can't conceive that we have everything and anything that we desire, not because of what you're doing, just because of who you are. You are God. You are a source. And everyone that you see is a projection of you, which means they are God and they are source. You can't lose. You can't lose. That's who you are really. That's who you are really. And anything that I put on this channel, any comment, you all are, nobody could convince me to think any less of you. Nobody. I'm not going to have to remember what I said, because my answer's going to always be the same. Oh, you're God, you're source, and you're me. And that's all. I love you too much to take you on a maze runner tour for all these things that you need to do. Another hoop. It's a trap. You don't need to do anything. Get that you are it. You're the source. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can harm you, who you really are. I love you. Thank you for coming on. If you have questions, go ahead and put some down there. I'll be back here probably before Monday, but I definitely will be back Monday around the same time. And it'll be the YouTube on here, and if I can do both, I'll do both. But I love you all so much, okay? Bless you.